Flutter plays a most important role for designing the cross-platform applications. Whenever if you want to develop a cross-platform mobile applications, then in that scenario, we are going to work with the help of Flutter, guys. Okay, so Flutter's place is the many people not having that much of awareness on what is Flutter and what is an importance of Flutter in the market. So this workshop will give much clarity about the importance of Flutter in the market. Remember, guys, from the last year onwards, we have a very good demand on the Flutter actually in the market. So people are started working with Flutter. So what is an importance of the Flutter and all? Let's discuss. So Flutter is a framework. Flutter is a framework developed by the Google to develop a cross-platform mobile apps on a single code base. So that is Flutter, guys. Flutter is a framework. Framework means what? It is a ready-made component. Framework is nothing but it's a ready-made component developed by the Google to develop a cross-platform mobile applications on a single code base. So what do you mean by cross-platform mobile based? So cross-platform mobile based is nothing but it is compatible with any type of mobile device. You can run on the Android device, you can run on the iOS devices, you can run on the tablets, whether on Android or iOS tablet, you can run on your Windows phones, you can run on your web browsers. Yes, you can run on anything that is a cross-platform mobile app. So, and you can run on a single code base. Single code base means we are going to develop the code only one time. So we are not going to develop a code separately. So using the Flutter framework, you are going to develop a code, app code, and that this app code we are going to develop with the help of Flutter framework. With the help of the Flutter framework, we are going to develop the app code. App code is nothing but the programming. So you are writing the code only one time. This is a single coding. So you are writing only the code one time only. You are developing a code only one time. This is known as single code base. So writing the code only one time, and this code you can run on different variety of platforms. So you can run on iOS devices, you can run on Android devices, you can run on your web devices also. So no need to modify the code for each device, guys. So you are developing the code only one time, whatever the project it may be. You are writing the code only one time using the Flutter framework, and that code is deployed on your iOS devices or Android devices or web devices. Web devices are nothing but your web browsers in this case. Okay. So to understand the Flutter framework, what were the prerequisite? This is a many questions from you people. Prerequisite to learn Flutter. Any object-oriented programming language basics. Any object-oriented programming language basics. If you came from the background, very easy for you people. Any object-oriented programming. If you came from the .NET background, or if you came from the Java background, so both are object-oriented languages only, right? So basics means what? The concept of OOPS, what is encapsulation, what is polymorphism, what is inheritance, how to create interfaces, what is abstraction, okay, inheritance. These things, basics are more than enough. So this is a prerequisite to learn the Flutter. Any object-oriented programming language basics. That's it. You can start learning the Flutter. Okay. Even though if you don't have that much knowledge on object-oriented programming language also, there is no problem. But if you know basics of object-oriented, you will not find that much of difficult or complex in the Flutter, because Flutter uses Dart programming language. Flutter uses Dart programming language. This is object-oriented. Flutter uses Dart programming language to develop a code. Okay, guys? So that's the most important thing. Flutter uses a Dart programming language. So what is Dart? What is an importance of the Dart programming language? That is very, very important, guys. So you must learn the syntaxes of the Dart and how to write a Dart code. So that understanding is very, very important before going to talk about what is Flutter. Okay. In this workshop, I will give you an idea on Dart programming language, how it will work, and how the Flutter internally based on the Dart. We'll discuss step by step on all these points. Okay. Remember, Dart language is the core concept of Flutter framework. Okay, so to create the mobile applications, to provide the best experience, understanding the Dart fundamental and how it will work and how the Dart will support it. That is very, very important, guys. Okay. So let's have some basic. First, I will talk about what is Dart programming language. I will give some idea. Then after that, we'll jump into the Flutter and why Flutter and all those things. We'll compare it step by step. So we'll come step by step. Okay, don't worry. Just observe. You will get answers for all your questions. Just wait. Dart language developed by Google. Dart language developed by Google, and we can use it for developing web, desktop, server side, and mobile applications. So Dart language developed by Google, and we can use it for developing web applications, desktop applications, server side applications, and mobile applications. Okay. So what are the features of Dart? Of course, it is object oriented. That is, enables loose coupling. It is object oriented. That is, enables loose coupling between the components, guys. So it is an object oriented language. It is an object oriented language which enables loose coupling between the components. It enables loose coupling between the components. So that's an idea of what is Dart actually. So object oriented, anyhow, many people know, nothing great in that. Why you are not going for procedure oriented programming? C language is procedure oriented, whereas object oriented is started from C++ onwards, Java, .NET, even Dart. What are the new generation programming languages are there? These are object oriented. Because object oriented reduces the dependency between the components. Components are nothing but the business logic, whatever the business logic you are writing. So we are reducing the dependency between the business logic. Like an example, ordering the ticket or ordering an item, adding item to the cart, doing the payment. So all these are business logics only, right? So object oriented, what is the advantage means it reduces coupling between the components, reduces dependency between the components. That means one developer no need to wait for another developer code to complete. Both work can go parallelly. Parallel development you can promote with the help of this object oriented. Okay. So as usually, what are the Java programming language and what the .NET programming language will do? The same story in the Dart also. The language level features is the same, but additionally, along with object oriented, you can go with productive tooling. What do you mean by productive tooling? It contains tools. It contains tools to analyze code, IDE plugin. It contains tools to analyze code, comma, IDE plugins. So this is the most important point. Analyzing the code means where exactly the problem is coming. Okay, IDE plugins. So what are the plugins related to the dot. You can do that. Plugins are available. With the help of that, you can handle it according to your requirement. Set of plugins will be there. So whatever the IDE you are using, so you can use dot. See, you can build Flutter on Flutter code. Means by using this dot programming language, either you can work on Android Studio or you can use Xcode, Apple Xcode IDE, or you can use VS Code IDE, or you can run on the Eclipse. On any IDE, you can use it. So that is what the productive tooling. So tools to analyze the code and IDE plugins. By defaultly, the Google provided the support for all variety of IDEs. On any IDE, you can work with this dot programming language. The another important feature of dot is garbage collection. So manages or deals with memory deallocation, that is objects which are no longer in use. So it manages or deals with the memory deallocation, that is objects which are no longer in use, garbage collection. So that is built-in support from the dot programming language. And also type annotations for security and consistency. For security and consistency, to control all of the data in our application. So type annotations are used for type safety, guys. What type of data you are going to provide as an input and what type of data you are going to get as an output. So you can apply the security and overall consistency to control the data uniqueness across your application. That this is type annotations. And statically typed. That means type annotations are optional and users type inference and users type inference like Kotlin to analyze types in runtime. So this feature is important for finding bugs during compilation time. So remember, dot is a statically typed language. Type annotations are optional. So no need to declare the type also, because why type annotations are optional? Because dot uses a concept called a type inference feature. This is available in the Kotlin language also to analyze the types in the runtime. So what types? This feature is important for finding bugs in the compilation time itself. Got it, guys? That means how we are declaring a variable like this, int x is equal to 10 in our programming languages. Type, variable name, data type, variable name, variable value. Like this we declared in our programming languages, right? But in Dart, no need to declare the type. No need to declare the type. Suppose if I declare the variable like this by using the var keyword, depends on the value. Whatever the value you are assigning depends on this context. The type is automatically determined. So the type is automatically taken as integer type by the compiler. So no need to declare the type. This is type inference feature. This is an excellent feature. It is supported in the Kotlin language also. Okay. So this is very useful feature for finding bugs during compilation time only. No need to wait up to runtime. So that is the most important point. And also portability. Portability means what? It is compatible with any type. This is not only for web, not only for web means transpiled into JavaScript, means not only converted into JavaScript, but it can also natively compiled to ARM and x86 code formats. Remember guys, ARM and x86 were the architecture formats of your operating system. Every operating system is having architecture, ARM based or x86 based. So whatever the architecture it may be, it will be natively compiled. Natively compiled means that architecture specific code format that will be maintained by the Dart. Portable guys. It will be compatible to any architecture, not only on the web. Web means what? What do you mean by web? Any browser, right? That can be Google Chrome or Firefox, anything. So internally your Dart is transpiled into JavaScript code internally. And also not only this process, and also it is supported to ARM. ARM is one of the architecture model, one of the type of architecture model. So ARM and x86, these are the different code formats you can make it portable. Okay, so these are the important things, the features what you guys need to focus on. Why these things are more powerful and more important guys here. So these are the features what you need to understand about the Dart programming language. Now let us talk about Dart evaluation. How this Dart programming language has been born in the market. In 2011, Google founded Dart programming language. In 2013, stable release introduced, that is, companies can start using Dart. Stable release means what? Testing is completed. in 2018, dot 2.0 introduced. Okay. So that is the evaluation, guys. 2011, the journey has been started. Google founded this Dart programming language in 2013. The stable release means the first version has been launched, that is Dart 1.0. Companies can start using Dart at that time onwards. 2018, Dart 2.0 introduced here. Okay. So this is the main understanding point about the evaluation of the Dart programming language. So in the Dart programming language, what we are going to do, it is mainly focused on web development. It was focused on web development, replacing JavaScript. Main why Dart introduced by the Google means the main focus is web development, because JavaScript creates more complexity in the web development. So the alternate for the JavaScript, they introduced this Dart programming language, because internally your Dart code is transpiled into JavaScript code. Now Dart is focused on mobile development areas also. That means used in the Flutter. So what are the JavaScript problems which are there that are solved by Dart? That means JavaScript doesn't provide robustness. So robust means strong, guys. What do you mean by robust? Means strong. So whenever this Dart introduced as a replacement of JavaScript with many features, it becomes a major successor. And also Dart offers better performance and better tools for large scale projects. And it is more flexible, guys. And Dart is a very good in balancing the flexibility and robustness. Both will be handled by the Dart. So Dart is very good for modern cross-platform general purpose language, and it is having a very good community maintained by the Google team internally to keep on improving the features and make it more mature and flexible. That's why Flutter team in the Google uses the Dart language to work with. Okay, you understand, guys? Any questions up to now? Please chat with me. Please ping me. Any questions up to now? So you understand, this is just given the outline idea what is Dart. Still yet we are not started anything about the Flutter. Just I given a basic introduction about what is Dart programming language, what was the evaluation of the Dart, and what are the features of Dart. So hope everyone was clear up to now. Now let's see how Dart works internally. How Dart works internally. dot runs in two different ways. Dot virtual machine, on this you can run. Second one is JavaScript compilation. So dot runs in the two different ways, on the dot virtual machine or JavaScript compilation. Anything you can go. So let's see here, sample idea. So you can take dot based code. So we developed a dot based code. So this dot based code I can run something like this. The dot based code you can run on the dot VM, dot virtual machine. You can run on this. Your dot based code is converted into JavaScript code, the transpiler. This is known as transpiler. Dot to JS is a transpiler that converts your dot based code into JavaScript code internally. And that will be run on your web browsers. Okay, guys, this is how the ways are there in the dot. So dot based code you can run on the dot virtual machine, or we have a dot to JS transpiler is there, which is responsible to convert your dot based code into JavaScript code that will be run on your web browsers. Can be Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, any web browser you can run, right? These are the ways, guys. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Guys, you understand or not? Any questions, please let me know. I have seen many of the people like Ajit, Bharat Gaud, Bodhlal Yadav, Gandham Suresh, Rahul Sharma, Ramesh, Vedasai. People are there, no? Give a reply, whether you understand or not. Okay. So, finally, you understand here, there are the two ways. Dot-based code you can run either on the dot virtual machine, or you can use the transpiler called dot to JS. Is a transpiler which converts your dot-based code into JavaScript code. Okay, guys? So that now you can understand dot code can be run in a dot capable environment. So dot code can be run in a dot capable environment. Dot capable environment means dot runtime environment. Like how we have Java runtime environment, in the same way, dot runtime environment, which provides. So now let's see here. Dot code can be run in a dot capable environment which provides a below features. So what are the features, guys? Runtime systems are available. Core libraries access is available. Core libraries means predefined libraries. And we have garbage collectors also. Okay. So whenever your code run in a capable environment, we will have a below feature. We have a runtime systems access. You can have a core libraries. You can work with the predefined libraries of Dart. You can take a help of garbage collectors to clean up your old memories and all. So finally, code execution operates in two modes, guys. The code execution operates in two modes. Just in time, JIT, ahead of time, AOT. These two are compilation modes, guys. The code execution operates in the two different modes. Just in time compilation, ahead of time compilation. I think you people already know just in time and ahead of time. What is the difference between these two compilations, guys? Just in time compilation means where code is loaded and compiled to native machine code by .vm on fly. So your total code, the code is loaded. The code is loaded. The code is loaded and compiled to native machine code by the .vm on the fly. On the fly. Native machine code means your underlying operating system instructions code. Native machine code is nothing but a binary code instruction which was understandable by your underlying operating system. Okay. So whenever you are developing a mobile application, whenever if you are working with mobile application development, in that we are going to work with the debugging feature and hot reloading features are there. Debugging and hot reloading. What do you mean by debugging? Line by line means you can inspect the code. Line by line you can inspect and you can execute the code. And also hot reloading. Hot reloading means whenever your application, suppose your application installed on your mobile device, after installation, if you want to do some modifications to your code, what are the changes you've done? What are the modifications you've done? Only those changes, only those particular changes were compiled and updated to your app instead of reinstalling the app again and again. That is hot reloading. So how this hot reloading and debugging support is provided me with the help of this just in time compilation support. Okay. So what is AOT compilation, head of time compilation? Here what happens means the Dart VM and your code was pre-compiled. So that means before execution only, before starting your program execution only, your code is pre-compiled, and your virtual machine works like a Dart runtime system which provides garbage collectors and various native methods from Dart library you can use for your application. That is, head of time is a pre-compilation process. Pre-compilation means it will not compile on demand, guys, like just in time. Head of time means at the time of installing your application, only, it will compile the whole code in the beginning only into your native machine code, so that it increases the performance, because it will not compile the code on fly. Based on your need, it will not compile on demand. So that will not increases a load on your processor, and that will not drain your battery quickly. So nowadays, what are the mobile apps we are using, whether it is Android or iOS mobile, whatever it may be, everyone is using head of time compilation approach only for pre-compiling your code. That means as soon as once your app is downloaded from the Google Play Store, at the time of installing your app into your device, your total app code is pre-compiled into your device native code. Native code means machine code instruction. Only one time it will pre-compile it. So that pre-compiled code will execute n number of times. That means at the time of execution, your code cannot be converted into native machine code on fly. So code is already converted in the beginning of installation. So user experience is very good, performance is very good. Means your app runs more faster than the just-in-time compilation. So your Dart code execution operates in the two different mode, guys. Okay. Remember, guys, why I'm telling all this story is Flutter framework. As you know, Flutter is a framework for building cross-platform applications for mobiles. So in order to develop cross-platform applications by using the Flutter framework, you must understand the Dart language, because Flutter is fully based on the Dart language only. So once you understand completely end-to-end story of Dart language, then you can get more experience on starting writing some code and all those things. Okay, guys? So you can play with the Dart code. You can play with the Dart code by opening the site called Dartpad. You can type in the Google Dartpad. Dartpad. If you see here, once if you type the Dartpad in the Google, it is an online ID Dartpad. If you click on this, you can go to this ID. This is an ID, guys. the dot pad. This is nothing but a dot pad, the online IDE. So you can play with the dot code and what are the syntaxes you have, you can play here. You can learn. You can play whatever the syntaxes you like. So for every beginners to understand, no reference site, Bodhilal, you can officially go to this dotpad dot from the Google official documentation is there. Anyhow, in the Flutter, in my Flutter course, I will cover first the dot features, the dot programming language syntaxes and all. Everything will cover first in my Flutter. After completing some features of the dot, then we are going to start developing the Flutter applications. Then we can use start Flutter. Okay. So I told you, right? You can use IDEs for dot and Flutter development. Visual Studio VS Code is the best IDE, or any Android Studio, or any JetBrains IDE such as WebStorm. Any other IDE is also by defaultly supported. Okay. So the dot SDK, the dot SDK, dot dev slash tools. So this is the site actually, the dot development. This is a site where this is the dot language. So the community and the language, what are the core libraries, what are the packages are there, what type of tools, if we have any tutorials, language fundamentals and all those things. Everything you can get it here. So the dot SDK provides specialized. So I will ping you here. So this is the site. So the dot SDK provides a specialized tools for each development ecosystem, such as web and server-side programming. Okay. So similarly, the transpiler that is converting your dot code into JavaScript code, everything, all those things will be provided by the dot VM and the dot transpiler guys. Then if you see here, if you come back to the code, the dot code, main like other programming languages, Java, .NET, etc. In dot programming language also, the execution point is main. Main is an execution point, okay, main function. So you can declare variables by using the var keyword, where I is equals to dot some variable name. Okay. So you can declare variables. You can declare your variables by using var keyword. You can declare the variable by using var keyword. Var keyword. So no need to declare variable type as a string, not required. Based on the value what you assigned for this variable, the type is automatically detected. This is known as type inference feature, type inherent feature actually. Okay. So once after assigning the variable I is equals to dot, if you want to print that variable value, print welcome dollar of I. So dollar is an expression in the dot. Dollar followed with the variable name. Dollar followed with the variable name. No plus operator, guys. Instead of plus operator, dot uses a sign called dollar followed with the variable name for printing the value. It is just like a placeholder. So once if you run this application, you can see the output here, welcome dot. Okay, so no plus operator, guys. Yeah, it is similar to Kotlin. Some syntaxes are similar. Yeah. Then you have to save the dot code. So whatever the dot code you developed, dot code file name to be saved as xx dot dot. You have to save like this. Xx means any file name you can use. File name can be any name, but extension should match with dot, D-A-R-T, dot. Okay. So the dollar expression is known as, this dollar expression is known as string interpolation technique. So to overcome internally the dot, what this dollar expression will do means this variable I is internally acts as a reference pointed to the string object. This double quotes is internally converted into string object. This double quotes is internally converted into string object. The string object address is assigned to this variable I. So this variable I is printed. So that means the dollar of I. So this expression, how it will internally do mean, internally dot calls like this, I dot to string method. So you know I is a reference variable pointed to the string object. On that string object, internally it invokes the toString method internally. The dot will call. Okay. So that is the most important point, guys. So now, just for your idea, I introduced these things, guys. Anyhow, in my course, Flutter course, approximately it will take 45 days to 2 months. Flutter course will take. It will announce shortly the batch. So those who are interested to build the cross-platform mobile applications, so the people can come to this Flutter. So you are going to write the code only one time by using the Flutter with the help of this Dart programming language, and your code can run on any mobile platform. So that can be iOS or Android, whatever it may be, you can build on anything. So no need to learn iPhone programming, no need to learn Android programming separately. No need to learn. By learning this Flutter code, by learning this Flutter concept, you can learn, you can implement the cross-platform mobile applications. This is not a weekend back, Bodhilal. This is workshop. Currently, what we are going to discuss, this is workshop, just awareness on Flutter. Normal track batch is going to start shortly. That will be 45 days to 2 months. That will cover your Dart programming language completely, and along with the Flutter framework, how to develop mobile apps as a cross-platform. You will learn all those things. If you want course content, what I am going to cover in this Flutter batch, 45 days to 2 months, you can contact the management. They will give the course content also. I already shared that content. You can go to that. Okay. So now, yes, freshers can learn this. Anyone can learn. That's what I'm saying. Anyone can learn. So Flutter is the hot cake in the market, guys. How Android is more popular in the market nowadays, Flutter is also a most important hot cake in the market. If you put Flutter in the resume, you will get more opportunities, more calls now. Because I will tell you one simple calculation in the IT company. If I hire one Android programmer to build Android app, suppose the salary for Android person is 30,000 rupees per month. I hired one Android programmer. Similarly, I hired one Android iPhone programmer by paying 30,000 rupees. 2 persons are I hired. But if I hire one Flutter programmer, the both jobs you can do by writing the Flutter code. I can run on the Android device, I can run on the iPhone device. So why I have to hire 2 programmers separately? Unnecessarily, waste of time and waste of money. So that's why companies will look in that way, cross-platform. But remember, cross-platform is not good in all the cases. Okay, depends on the requirement of the project. You have to decide whether you want to go for cross-platform mobile app development or native mobile app development. Native means iPhone programming for building iPhone app, Android programming for building Android app. That is native style. Cross-platform means like Flutter, PhoneGap, Xamarin, React Native. These are cross-platform. You are writing the code only one time and that can be run on any device. But remember, Flutter, comparing to other cross-platform frameworks which are available in the market till now, Flutter-based development is totally different. I will tell you. Okay. Flutter framework is a game changer in the market in mobile development to make developers awesome applications with no drawbacks in the performance and the scalability. Remember, guys, the idea behind the Flutter framework, why Flutter invented means for mobile development, the tools which are provided, what are the tools which are required by the developer to make awesome applications with no drawbacks in performance. Generally, people will think about in the cross-platform mobile app development, whether if you go with the Ionic framework or React Native framework or PhoneGap or CoreJava, Xamarin, whatever it may be. All these are doesn't give that much of performance and scalability support. But Flutter will give awesome performance. No drawbacks, no drawback to point out. Excellent performance support. That was the power of Flutter. So that's why from last year onward, Flutter importance was rapidly increased in the market. Last year, from the starting of the last year onward, companies have started working with Flutter, the mobile app developer. So that's the most important thing what you need to understand. Flutter comes with the own structure. Flutter has its own structure internally. Multiple concepts are there internally in the Flutter for app performance, how to improve the performance of your app and the user interface. User interface means the screen, whatever the screen you are going to design. So excellent support is there to deliver the best output to the world with high performance, comparing to your native mobile operating system. Like if I develop on Android, suppose I'm an Android programmer. If I develop on Android application, how much quality you achieved, how much performance you achieved, exactly the same performance you can achieve with the Flutter. That's what the control, guys. Okay. Productivity is very, very good. That means how productivity is good here. Dart is not only a programming language, and it is not a concept, at least, right? The Dart SDK, the software development kit, comes with a set of tools that gives Flutter framework benefit to help with common tasks during development. That is testing, debugging, profiling, logging, etc. etc. Okay. Hot reload is the excellent feature in the Dart. Hello. Meeting lo ఉన్నాను నేను మళ్ళీ చేస్తాను. Okay, so that is about important thing, guys. So we'll talk about all these things, how the Dart tools will be there for testing, how the Dart tools will be there for testing, development, debugging and deployment, that I will cover. These are all known as development tools for increasing the productivity in the Flutter, and easy to learn, guys. So Dart is a new language for many developers. So that means what I can say here, Flutter is a new framework for you, Dart is a new language for you. Both you can do with a more challenging, more interesting things, more cool features will have. Dart language was inspired by many modern and mature languages such as Java, JavaScript, C#, Swift, and Kotlin. We can use it. Okay. So remember, guys, what I'm saying. So comparing to this, how this Dart and Flutter, as I explained up to now. Now today I want to talk about comparisons with Flutter and the Flutter history, and comparing. Just a minute, guys, I'm getting one phone call. Just a minute. Okay, guys, sorry. So Flutter has experienced. So Flutter introduced in 2016. Flutter introduced in 2016, guys. The first alpha release. Alpha release is nothing but the testing version. In May 2017, it was in May 2017 with the first alpha version only. It was already building for iOS and Android systems actually. It started building with alpha version only, iOS and Android system. Then community adoption has been started to improve the Flutter and more. And the first stable release brought for Flutter in 2018. Okay. So why was Flutter created? Do we really need it? How we better than the other frameworks? That is very, very important. Beginning of the Flutter framework, the main intention of the Flutter is to provide a better user experience to the user for high performance execution. High performance execution and with better experience of the user. Excellent. How you get an experience with Android application, native style development, how you achieve, the developers will achieve. The same throughput you can achieve with Flutter. Okay. So, why Flutter? The problems want to solve. The problems Flutter want to solve. What are the problems want to solve here is development life cycle, guys. Long development cycles. Long development cycles means what do you mean by that? Based on the market demand, based on the market requirement, you have to choose whether you want to develop an app for single platform, single mobile platform, or multiple mobile platform. That is according to your market demand. Then you have to create your multiple teams. This increases the cost, the deadlines, and so many consequences you have to follow, man. Means iOS team, Android team, Windows team, like that. You have to focus on it. Consequence of the cost increases, deadlines you have to achieve, managing this large number of teams, it becomes a challenging task. And also multiple languages you have to learn, guys. Generally, if the developer wants to develop for multiple platforms, if the developer wants to develop for multiple platforms, they must learn how to learn on Android. And if you are building on Android applications, if you are developing iOS applications, you have to learn the Swift language. If you are developing on Xamarin, you have to develop C#, .NET or something. Different programming languages you have to learn. This certainly impact on developers' productivity, guys, because the life of developer becomes learning only at the end of the day, when he will develop and when he will start writing the code. So that is the biggest challenge. So long build or compilation time, guys. Many developers having the problem. Build time is obviously impact on productivity. Build time means how much time to take to compile the application to compile the whole code and how much time to execute your code. Generally, that will obviously affect the productivity of your application. Suppose in Android, if you take an Android as an example, some developers will experience multiple long build times after few minutes of coding. It will cause a lot of pain. Cross-platform solutions side effects will be there. Existing cross-platform side effects are there. That is, I told you, right? React Native, Xamarin, Ionic, CoreJava. These are all having existing cross-platforms only, but they doesn't have that much support in performance management, design, or user experience. All these things, what are the problems we discussed up to now? These are common problems in any cross-platform tools, but these problems are handled greatly in the Flutter. Okay, guys? Then comparing to other frameworks, what are the other frameworks? Just now we talked. Xamarin is there, React Native is there, Ionic is there, CoreJava is there. All these are cross-platform frameworks only, like Flutter. But this doesn't give good support for performance, design-wise, user experience-wise, build and compilation time-wise, multiple languages you have to learn, long development cycles. All these are the problems we are facing actually. So that's why Flutter is a single code line base. Single code line means you are learning only one language, Dart language. That's it. With the help of the Dart language, with the help of the Flutter framework, you will write a code only one time. Suppose if I hire 10 members for the Flutter, all 10 members are working on the same code base only. They are not writing different versions code. They are not writing code for iPhone. They are not writing code for Android. They will not write the code separately. They will write the code only once by learning the Dart programming language. So all are joined in the same group. All developers are working on the same goal. So developer productivity will ultimately increase in this case because there are no multiple versions. You can achieve on a good deadline. So high performance. How performance is good in the Flutter. This is the right time to talk, guys. Because Flutter owns the pixels, guys. Flutter directly controls pixel to pixel alignment on your devices. Flutter directly control on the pixel. That means every component what you align, that can be a button or radio button or checkboxes or drop down items or images, etc. and etc. What are the things you are going to show on the screen? It controls pixel by pixel directly. So with the direct control, we'll get the native look, exact look. How the look you got with the help of your normal Android app development, you can get the same look on the Flutter. And also, Flutter doesn't have any extra layers, guys. That means there is no external operating system API calls. No intermediate conversions calls will be there. No conversions, nothing. Because Flutter comes with own rendering style. It doesn't have any mediators. No mediators, no need to convert into intermediate code, nothing. Direct to direct, point to point, direct control. Flutter is compiled directly to native code. So Flutter internally uses the .aot compiler, a head of time compiler, to produce native code. So that means no just-in-time compiler, guys. So simply you can say it will rule all the pixels on the device. Pixel to pixel, it will control on the device. Okay. So that is the main important thing, guys, what I want to discuss in this workshop. So remember, guys, so your interest, Suresh, that is your interest. See, mobile technology is the ultimate career. The next coming 10 years also, we have a wonderful market in the mobile, no doubt. So if you are going with mobile technology, you can start learning the Flutter. So mobile environment, mobile world is totally different. It's an excellent market, evergreen market. The next coming 5 to 10 years also very good. Going forward, you can apply artificial intelligence, machine learning in mobile applications also. The next coming generation, or currently they are following also in the market. Okay. Then good. Then this is the right place to came. Okay. So wait for the Flutter batch to start. So in the next week they will announce. You can contact with the management, you can stay in touch, they will tell you and how to go and all this. Okay guys, any more questions? Fees, I think they will talk with you. Management, you can contact the management. So I will tell only the course duration, 45 days to 2 months it will take. So I will show you one small project also on the Flutter. I will guide you to develop some project. We'll cover the complete Dart programming language. No, Rameshwar, we are not starting Flutter batch. No demo class on tomorrow. Demo class they will announce. They will announce the demo class. Okay. Sai better. Sai better. Okay, guys. Yeah, sure. In the evening times only, mostly I will schedule the Flutter batch. So stay in touch with the management, and mostly the next week the batch will start. So today's workshop is just an awareness. Don't expect any coding, because in order to demonstrate on coding, you must know the Dart programming language and all. So for more information on the Flutter, you can go to the Flutter website. Flutter website is available. So this is a Flutter website. So the companies who are using and how they are using, and which companies are started using Flutter. Google is using, eBay is using, BMW is using, Alibaba Group, Square, Capital One. So if you want to see which organizations have been created in the Flutter, Realtor.com, Tencent, the New York Times, Square, Google Assistant. Okay, so these are the companies which are already started implementing the Flutter in their cases, okay, to get that, yeah, 10 cent, correct. So remember guys, it is more important and more powerful, and a huge market is there in the Flutter. So try to utilize this opportunity, learn the Flutter. Who already coming to Android people, those people also can learn Flutter. No problem. Whatever it may be, you learn the Android. Okay, Android for native development. Flutter is cross platform. Whatever it may be, both knowledges are helpful. No problem. So anyone can learn Flutter. Flutter is a cross platform. Once you see the taste of the Flutter, just come to Flutter classes, demo classes. Anyhow, it will be there. No, next week, 2 to 3 demo classes will be there. See the taste of Flutter. Definitely, you'll enjoy the Flutter subject, and you will only know that what is an importance and the power of Flutter by learning the Dart programming language. You'll see a lot of fun will be goes on. You will do very cool app development. You'll see a lot of things. Okay. Course content of Flutter, contact management. They will save the course content to you. You can go to that. 45 days, 2 months. And I will, after the course, I will guide you to develop one small app also on the Flutter, and how to build that app both on iPhone devices and Android devices, and even on web also how to run, that you will see. Thank you all. Thanks for attending the workshop. Have a good day. Stay in touch to get the latest updates on Flutter. Thank you. Bye-bye.